Opioids. It's a word we're hearing a lot these days. But what are opioids? They're a class of drugs that started out as simple extracts from the opium poppy and grew into so much more. People have been taking opioids for a very long time, but the opioids of today are much more potent, alarmingly so. So, what's the story around opioids? Let's start at the beginning. Opium comes from the dried sap of the opium poppy. It's been used for thousands of years as a sleep aid and to treat pain and anxiety. These medicinal mixtures from opium poppies are called opiates. Although medical professionals knew by the early 1800s that habitual use of opium could cause problems, they continued to use it to treat asthma, cholera, pain, and other conditions. It was also used for its peaceful, feel-good effects. In 1803, a German scientist discovered how to cultivate morphine from opium. This discovery of the first opium-derived drug is credited with launching the pharmaceutical industry. Morphine was widely used as an effective painkiller in this country during the Civil War. Although morphine eased the pain of wounded soldiers, many came home from that brutal war addicted to the drug. In fact, addiction was so common among Civil War veterans, it came to be known as the soldier's disease. Meanwhile, in 1832, a French scientist found a way to extract another opiate called codeine from the head of the poppy plant. In addition to mild pain relief, codeine was, and still is, used usually in combination with other medications to reduce coughing. Since the discovery of the opiates morphine and codeine, the most common direct poppy derivatives, scientists have used their knowledge of opium to create semi-synthetic or man-made opium-like painkillers called opioids. Semi-synthetic opioids are partly natural. They contain some ingredients from the opium poppy and some ingredients created in a laboratory. Heroin ushered in the use of semi-synthetic opioids, taking the same raw materials used in morphine and codeine and enhancing them in the laboratory through creative chemistry. In 1874, heroin was created in an effort to reduce the addictive effects of morphine while keeping the pain-reducing benefits. However, because heroin was faster acting and a lot stronger than morphine, it became very popular with recreational drug users. Before long, it became evident that heroin was highly addictive. Now, other examples of some common semi-synthetic opioids include the prescription painkillers hydrocodone, Vicodin, oxycodone, Percocet, and the controlled-release formula OxyContin, oxymorphone, Opana, and hydromorphone, Dilaudid. Manufactured drugs that have some of the same effects as opiates and semi-synthetic opioids but do not actually come from opium are called synthetic opioids. Some of the better-known synthetic opioids are Demerol, fentanyl, and carfentanil. Demerol is used to treat moderate to severe pain but is less potent than morphine. Fentanyl, however, is 80 to 100 times more potent than morphine. Because it's so fast-acting, fentanyl was originally used as an anesthetic. Carfentanil was a similar opioid with even more potency. It was designed as a tranquilizer for big game, such as elephants. Even it is becoming widely misused. It's more deadly than other opioids because it's 10,000 times more potent than morphine and 100 times more potent than fentanyl. There are also two synthetic opioids that are actually used in the treatment of opioid use disorders: methadone, which has been sold in the US since 1947, and buprenorphine, introduced in 2002. Both medications are endorsed by the American Medical Association and SAMHSA, and approved by the Food and Drug Administration. To understand how opioids work, we need to look at the interaction between opioid peptides created naturally in our bodies and our neurons. Opioid peptides, in their simplest form, reduce the ability of neurons to fire. There are three main opioid peptides that originate in different areas of the body, such as the pituitary and adrenal glands. These peptides are released into the bloodstream, affecting many bodily functions such as slowing breathing and heart rate, and increasing a sense of peace and happiness. The thing to remember is that the level of these chemical interactions are naturally regulated by the body. They're generally short bursts with enough potency to help deal with danger or stress, curb pain, and create euphoria, but small enough to limit negative side effects. There are useful ways to give a boost to this natural system by consuming manufactured opiates and opioids, but this boost can quickly lead to problems if not done under the supervision of a medical professional. In fact, considering the extreme strength of today's synthetic opioids, it can easily become deadly. There have been a variety of substances used to boost our internal opioid system for a very long time, all with increasing potency. Cheaper and stronger synthetic opioids brought consequences for misuse to a dangerous level quickly, a level that requires new strategies for care that previously weren't available.